Hey guys, TNG bringing you a 6 Samurai deck profile. It's my first deck profile, so sorry the camera's in my hand, so I'm only using one hand for this, but yeah, hopefully the quality shouldn't be too bad. Got 3 Kagemusha and the tuner, that's pretty standard. 3 Kizan, standard, special summon power. 2 Kageki, some people run 3, I run 2 because if you get him in your first hand and you get 2 of him, it's quite annoying because he's pretty useless unless you're going into send mines. Likewise, if you get 2 of him, or if you get 1 of him, pretty dead draw, only good as an asceticism target, so I only run 1 and side into a second if I win the first duel. I have my standard Grandmaster. Yeah, he's simple asceticism target for Kizan. That's pretty much all he's good for, apart from as an easy special summon for the Yugioh counters. Got my other asceticism cards, like these 2 go together with Kageki, and they've also got some decent effects, destroying set monsters, that's Snowman Eater and Raiko, and bouncing cards, that's Synchros, and this guy destroys any monster he battles, is a good search target for Kizan, or from Kizan. We've got Hand and Yugioh for a bit of destruction and removal, good for getting rid of the solemn warnings that you might face with Yugioh, and set monsters, yeah, and any monster on the field it just destroys instantly, so that's no effect stopping him there. I run a copy of Spirit of the 6 Samurai because this deck runs 2 dojo, which I think is sufficient to warrant 1 copy, because in the first turn if you go into your Shion, that's 3 monsters you will have had to summon, so you contribute your dojo and go into a spirit, gives your Shion a bit of protection. So, and it's also level 3, so you can go into send mains. I also have 1 copy of Max C, which I think is sufficient because I don't have any other copies. Yeah, that's monsters for you. Next we got our 3 6 Samurai United, 2 dojo, 1 gateway. Bushido counters. Statistically, you're probably going to get one of these in your first hand. Like 6 out of 40 is like 1 in 7 or 1 in 6 cards or thereabouts. So you're likely to get 1 in your first hand. If you get gateway and 2 other of these, then you're fairly set as long as you draw a decent 6 samurai monster. We've got asceticism and Book of Moon, which will be an asceticism if I can get my hands on a second copy, and then I also have an upstart which will be a 3rd asceticism, but currently I only have 1, so the other 2 are just filler cards, and they do actually work quite well if you don't have enough asceticisms or you've got a free slot. I have my reinforcement of the army, my 2 smoke signals. These are standard, grabs you Kizan, grabs you a Zanji or whatever you need. These grab you your Kagekis or your Elders, or even Kagemusha. And then I've got my 3 staples, Heavy Storm, Space Typhoon, and Monster Reborn. I only run 1 copy of Space Typhoon because I find 1 is more than enough. Because if I actually prefer this card, Magatama. Because if you're going first, which most of the time I do actually go first, so Magatama is a good card for me, because it stops the monster destruction that they often get hit by. Instead of Solemn Warning, because I don't own any copies, I have 2 Fiendish Chain. This one is Star Foil, so it came from the Battle Pack, and the other one I think is from, I think it's from the 6 Samurai deck anyway, so decent card anyhow. I also have a Compulsory Evacuation Device for my Solemn Judgment, my Mirror Force, so these are like standard removal cards to help you push through for game, and I have my double-edged for the spam, and I only run 1 copy because fairly frequently I will have won before I draw a copy of it, and I don't want to have a wasteful trap card in case I go for game and they flip Mirror Force and I've not got a Compulse or a Magatama or something instead. Now I've got our extra deck. I have my Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon main decked because I face a lot of gadgets and stuff, but every so often you'll wish that you didn't have to face the gadgets, and he won't be around to save you. I have my Tempo because everyone runs Exceeds now, so he can be a sneaky little summon for 2200 or 2700 attack if you want to pump him up. I only run Tempo, I don't run the others because I gave them to my brother. I have my Wind Up Zen mains. Nice blue folder. This came from the Heroic Challenge tin, so I have him as well. Heroic Champion Excalibur. He's good for destruction and removal of painful cards, and stalling, and he's good for going for game because you can put 2 keys down on him, send them straight to the graveyard, get them back with your gateway, go into another rank 4 quite easily. So you've got the other rank 4s, 2 Utopia, Shadow Xian and Shockmaster. Currently don't main deck an Adreus or Tiras. I only have Tiras and I don't really like it, because I find why I have a card that's got 100 more attack than Xian and isn't a 6 samurai when all the cards my deck runs go for 6 samurai. And then we've got our Xian, a card which is in place of a Naturia Beast, but he's pretty good sometimes for now. His effect can especially summon an additional 6 Sam, get you some more Bushido counters. My replacement for Naturia Barkion, a level 6, likewise that's a level 5. They're just like filler cards. Then I have my Naturia Landois. I don't really use him much, but I don't want to not have him when monster effects are running me ragged. I also have my Black Crows for Field Nuke. It's Ghost Ray, it's very nice, and it's also very manly. And then I've got 2 Stardust. One will probably go for a Colossal Fighter or a Scrap Dragon or something better, but I lost most of my decent synchros. So yeah, that's the main deck and extra deck. And side deck is pretty like stupid or weird, but I have a second copy of Grandmaster if I think I'm going to need him. I have a third copy of Kageki if I think I'm going to need him. If I'm going first, I also side into Elder if I win and I go second. I have a second copy of Anishi. If I'm siding in the extra Kageki, I'll side in the extra Anishi, just for an extra asceticism target. I have Summoner Monk because I have quite a few spell cards in my side deck, mostly monsters but some spells. And then I have some like hand traps, DD Crow if I'm facing Dark Worlds, because I don't really side against them because I don't have too many problems with them. But likewise with Gauze, I sometimes struggle against them, and then I side in Gauze and they destroy my field and I counter it. Then I have Dark Hole, my second Space Typhoon, and a Monster Gate. Monster Gate I run just because this deck has not that many monsters, and if you draw into your DD Crow and no 6 Samurais, you can bank your money that this will get you Kagemusha, or normally I've played it a few times and it got me Max C from DD Crow, so not that good. And then I have my weirdest card, Different Dimension Gate. Move and play 1 monster you control and 1 your opponent controls. This is actually quite clever with double-edged sword technique. You get back 2 monsters, you then remove from play 1 and 1 of your opponent's monsters, which means you don't lose advantage from this card. And then you can get rid of their graph art. Admittedly, they both come back to the field when it's destroyed, so you have to be wary that your opponent plays Heavy Storm and gets their monster back. So choose a decent monster to remove so that you've got something to back you up. And then, because this deck lacks consistency, I side into a more inconsistent card, Reckless Greed. It's a good card actually, but you need to run 3 or 0. If you're running 3 and you only play 1, your lost draw phases can cost you the duel. And so yeah, that's my side deck, extra deck, traps, spells, monsters. This is TNG signing out. Peace.